Hi, Marshall Strong here, and I hope everybody out there is doing amazing. So, before I get into it, I'm going to tell you the three things we're going to discuss right now. We're going to discuss marriage, leverage, society. Marriage, leverage, society. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this video how you can avoid the mistake I made, cost me over $500,000. And I will share that with you for specifically this is going out to men right now, to any young men, anywhere from 15 to 40. This is my thoughts, okay? So I was an average man like most people. I developed myself. I sold over 2,000 homes, made $1 million by the age of 38. And I say these things just so you know that, or where the information is coming from. So I focus on making money, not dating. Like most men out there, you think make money, get a family equals happiness. So my parents were divorced. So in the back of my mind as a child, I analyzed that. And I wasn't legally married, but I was committed. We had a ceremony. I just didn't go through the government. Okay. And something in my mind told me it just didn't make sense. Apparently I was smarter than I knew I was back then. At the age of about 30, it just didn't make logical sense. Financially wise, it was a losing battle. So I didn't do that. However, we had children, and there was another consequence to pay. So what I'm going to tell people, and I made a choice to go up against a battle that was brought to me deceivingly. So I made wrong decisions. But what I learned from this, and what I've been discovering the last 4 years from dating, from psychology, from relationships, is life pretty much comes down to leverage. Humans, by nature, the female is going to be hypergamy, looking for a mate, survival, and men are going to be looking at beauty. This is the way God created us, all right? So once you commit to marriage, you give up your leverage card. You have no leverage. That's why they say a lot of men out there right now, 80% of them say happy wife, happy life. I talk to clients all the time that ask wives for permission, 95% of the time. So I'm going to give you an interesting fact. Stay tuned, so I'm going to drop a nugget from Tai Lopez as well. So, interesting fact from Dan Pena stated this, that research that in 1983, the average woman's handshake was weaker than the man's, and now a woman's is stronger than the man's on average. So, testosterone levels are going up. Testosterone levels are going down in men, up in women. So, what does this mean? So, I just ran into somebody that is 21, getting married. In the back of my mind, now, some may say, I'm going to go back to that thought, back of my mind, but some may say I'm jaded because, didn't work out for me, yada, yada. At the end of the day, I see with a very clear mind, and I analyze things. My dad's a computer programmer. I've sold 2,000 homes in real estate. So I was coachable. Someone trained me how to do something. I did it. I believe most things are doable if you are open to learning and you get coached. That's why I coach people now, because I want to provide the knowledge I didn't have growing up to make life easier. But at the end of the day, some things you must go through, because a smart man learns from his mistakes, yet a wise man learns from others. So under 27, you're probably going to have to learn the hard way. Once you hit 27 and older, you probably start listening to wiser people, and you learn that, hey, if this person sold 2,000 homes, maybe I should reach out to him and ask him how to do it. And I've had people do that over the years, and I've helped them. They all made over 100K their first year. So going back to marriage and leverage society, if you think, I've read the Bible twice now, and I ask questions. I believe in God. I believe there's a creator. Even if we came from dirt, someone created the dirt. So I believe in the creator, okay? And I believe in manifesting. I believe in the power of believing things to come true. So what is the reason for marriage? If you ask somebody what's the reason for marriage, and somebody asks you, do you want to get married? Well, I'm curious, why do you want to get married? Tell me that first. And they'll be like, well, because I don't know, I just want to be with someone forever. Well, you could do that without marriage. So what's the point of marriage? a certificate with the government. It takes your leverage away, gentlemen. Remember that. It takes your man card. You have no leverage. A lot of dating advice out there, which makes sense, which I've practiced, you have to be willing to walk away. If you're not willing to walk away, you have no leverage. So by signing a document with the government, you're giving away your leverage. It has nothing to do with being with someone forever. I was devoted. I was loyal. I was committed. I walked through hell with somebody trying to wait for them to become a better version of themselves. And instead, they remained the same and thought they could get me for $60,000 a year. So, with that being said, it just comes down to logical sense. Make the best move on your board. Now, if you and her are going to school, working normal jobs, if you get married, cool. But if you become a doctor and she becomes a stay-at-home mom, she's taking care of yourself, cool. If you're cool with that, cool. That's okay. But what happens when somebody has children with you just to get a paycheck? What do? And that's horrible. But it happens out there more than you think, because more men are loyal, in my opinion, than females. Actually, it's not even an opinion. Statistical fact. 80% of marriages are initiated from a female. 80%. So, between the man and woman, who typically, I'd like you to Google and ask ChatGPT, who usually comes up from man and woman. Now, a lot more women are working these days, so there are going to be men coming up, and I've heard crazy stories. Cannot believe it when men are chasing women for money. But it happens. So, it happens on both ends. But for all the young men out there, just be careful, because just because society, which works best for most people, doesn't mean it's best for everybody. Doesn't mean you need to do it, and it is exactly what God wants you to do, unless he comes down and tells you himself. You have a subconscious mind that is basically you working on autopilot. Now, you can tap into your awareness, and you know right from wrong. Nobody had to tell you as a kid. You just knew, and you chose how you chose. We all get choices in life. Just the number one thing I'll tell you is take full responsibility for every single thing that happens to you, even when other people come after you and attack you. Take full responsibility, because until you do that, you will never have the power to change it. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one.